you're not only updating your character reel with better responses and healthier responses, you are stopping generational curses from being programmed in to your kid or the next generation. The scapegoat and the black sheep of a family. Now, this is a family system that is very well documented, where the family picks one child to dump all of their shame, blame, guilt, and treat them however they want. And then when this scapegoat grows up, the family denies it. So that's gaslighting. And then when the person is grown up and they're having a hard time in life and they're facing difficult decisions and navigating life, they may mess up or crash out or really have a episode of just losing it, basically getting frustrated and upset and angry and just making bad choices and going back to possibly an addiction. And then the family sits back and they just say, oh, see, we told you, they just aren't a good child. They just aren't a good person. And we tried our best. Okay, so this is a messed up family system. And we grow up and we're at where we're at. We can't change any of that. All of that was miserable. What we can change is how we conduct ourselves now. A lot of times we would love for that family to validate us and say, yeah, it was hard growing up. Yeah, we were monsters towards you. Yeah, we love you now. We want your forgiveness and we're here to support you. That will never happen for the scapegoat or the black sheep. I guess they're one and the same. We must look inside ourselves and realize that there is a part of us that mirrored the way they raised us. It's in us, whether we like it or not. In our character reel, the side that we don't show other people. But we can change that. And in doing that, what we are doing is we are breaking generational curses, ways that are passed on from family all the way down to like great grandchildren, because they never analyze themselves. But when it gets to you, and there's all this knowledge out here about the family systems, go read Internal Family Systems. That's a really good book. Go research the scapegoat. Go research the family systems that they come from. Learn about it. And then start learning about identity. Start learning about programming your own personality. And then analyze your dark side. It's like, okay, well, I don't have one. Well, yes, you do. You grew up in a family system that acted like they were perfect. And you picked up a lot of those, what are they called? Traits. Though they are not who you are. Your soul is who you are. And if we don't want to pass on the generational trauma, we have to have a system to change ourselves. And how do we do that? Well, have you ever been in a situation where you're in a high stress situation? I just said situation twice. Now I said it 3 times. And this with somebody you love or care about or your kids. And then all of a sudden you just blow up. And a little while later you're sitting there and you're thinking, I just heard my mom's voice, or I just heard my dad's voice. And you just spoke the way they would have treated you when you were a kid. Well, here is why. Because they had probably blown up at you, and then your brain recorded in your databanks that when this situation comes up, this is how I react, or this is how this human body reacts. So then it happens. What is happening in there deep inside the brain? What is the mechanics? Okay, so the eyes are observing out here in the world this situation. The character reel is going and it's like, we're coming up on a situation where we don't have programming, but it's, whoa, buried way deep in here. We're going to access this programming. It doesn't pull out the memory, it pulls out the metadata. It pulls out the emotions, the words, the body movements, and it presents them in this body. So it's like a player piano. There's this spot where it doesn't know to play, and it's like digging way in the records. Then it pulls out this sheet, and all the mechanics go off, but not the visual memory. The brain is pretty amazing. What is happening there? There is an electrical, or not electrical, but there is an energetic signal being sent up in your brain, and then that signal goes and finds that memory, and then it gets the metadata, and then it brings it back, and then it increases the energy and sends a code to the part of your brain that tells your mouth to speak, the part of your brain that accesses the words that need to be spoken, your heart rate, your emotions. So this metadata is, boom, sent to the areas, and the energy is increased and sent to these systems to activate. You're like, where did that come from? Well, dang. Well, your brain accessed information and instructions, pulled it out, and then played it. Energy is the key here. Controlling where your energy is going in that moment of when you feel like you're about to freak out. And when you do freak out, in that moment, how do you stop the energy? How do you capture it and redirect it down a new neural pathway with a new codex, with looking at new instructions? The character trigger. The character trigger uses symbology or symbolism, whichever word it is. It uses breath work. It uses a character sheet, which is a codex, which you create yourself. It uses tapping, and it uses visualization. And when you create this, what you've done is you created a character trigger that you can activate, and it captures that energy right in that moment, and it sends it to a new marker where your codex is for your new programmed in behavior. So it takes a while to work this system, but you're catching that energy before it goes down that old neural pathway. Every time you repeat it, it makes that process even easier to happen. So then the character reel gets to that situation again. Is like, oh, we go to this, we go to this, we go to this. Because your character reel is always being written and it's always being read. So in the moment, you have to take off the needle off the record and you have to put in a new character reel or codex. And you divert the energy where you want it to go to create a new pathway or a new response in a stressful situation. This is not easy work. It's not easy because it's just like this internal struggle of like, I'm fighting it so hard, But that's energy in the brain trying to access different spots that you're trying to fight to not access. So if you have a program or you have a character trigger built, you have just brought in the secret weapon to that internal battle. Then what you're doing is you're not only updating your character reel with better responses and healthier responses, you are stopping generational curses from being programmed in to your kid or the next generation or whoever you're around close for a long period of time, because we pass that stuff on, and that's how you pass it on from your recording to their recording, the character reel to character reel. And then they will have kids and they will pass that on. So having a tool to stop that not only makes you I hate to use the word healed because I don't think that's applicable, makes you a soul that's far more in control of your brain and your character reel. you are going to change the path or the course of your family line also. So it's time to stop looking to the past of, oh man, I wish they would this or wish they would that. And I'm talking to the scapegoats. I'm talking to the black sheep. They're not going to come around. They're not going to admit what they did. You have to unchain yourself from the past to move into the future. So the older you get, the further you have to dive into the past, a painful past, to unchain yourself, to free yourself, to move into the future. And when you do, take authority of who you are, your character, and you choose to change it in the mold and mold it in the way that you see fit. Your ancestors and the future line of your family is going to be very different. Now, when I say your ancestors, I truly believe that our ancestors are in the spirit realm cheering us on. And here's the thing. You are the person that's going to change your line. You are going to do it. You were probably here because you saw scapegoat, or you saw the word black sheep, and you were drawn to it. And there's only maybe 3 of y'all watching, or 7. There's about 19 people that watch these videos. But you may be one of them that is going to change the history of your family line. And I can say history because one day the time is going to pass either way. So one day it'll be 100 years down the road. Do you want them to look at your family history and be like, or do you want them to look at your family history and be like, that was the man or the woman that changed the family line from hiding a broken family system to healing out in the open and living a life that they never dreamed of. Anyway, if you're interested in learning the character trigger, go to the Uncivilized Rebirth school platform. The school platform and then the Uncivilized Rebirth community. Those words are jumbling up. Listen, the courses are free. We're going to do an onboarding call once you join. We're going to just get a feel for where you're at, and we're just going to dive in. We're going to start learning the character trigger. I will walk you through it every step, and it takes a few weeks. There's no sales pitch here. Like, it is my mission to help people. Just go check it out. All you have to do is create a login, join the community, and I'm going to meet you there, and we're going to start your journey. We're going to build you a character trigger and change the course of your family line. Roadhouse, Spiritual Hard.